Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to just use your initials, BBK, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to your second integrated speaking practice test right now.
The reading passage is about producing of nuclear energy and how it can be used to produce. The reading passage is about producing of nuclear energy and
I would probably say the production of nuclear energy there. I would probably use the noun form, not the gerund form there. Now, if I said producing nuclear energy in many countries is a concern, you know, for the IAEA, if you use it as a gerund or a gerund phrase, that would work. But in this case, probably just production.
How it can be used to produce uranium weapons. And there is the International Atomic Energy Agency is an organization that is responsible. The reading passage is about producing of nuclear energy and how it can be used to produce uranium weapons.
Now, give me a bigger idea. You're stating more of a detail there. The reading passage is discussing the risks of nuclear energy, right? But then what is the listening passage doing? The listening passage is giving an example to illustrate one of those risks. That's what you want to do in the first 6 or 7 seconds of your response. You need to state the main point of both the reading passage and the lecture. You have not done that.
And there is the International Atomic Energy Agency is an organization that is responsible for monitoring the...
I wouldn't say there is the agency that is or which is. I would just say the IAEA is the agency responsible for monitoring what countries are doing with their enriched uranium. So I don't think you need to use there is. That's just awkward, unnecessary, and wordy. Now, if you want more tips on that, go to the grammar part of my course. I have a good lesson. I think it's around grammar number 27, 28 maybe, but there's a lesson it's called Being More Concise. I think you could benefit by going through that lesson and completing some of the practice exercises. That's going to help you with both your speaking and your writing.
Nuclear faculties and preventing nuclear weapons from expanding around the world. The agency is also facing difficulties. They don't know what the other countries is doing with the nuclear weapons. The speaker also...
It's not with the nuclear weapons. They don't know what countries are doing with the enriched uranium that they have. A, are these countries using their uranium for nuclear energy, or are they using it, B, for more sinister purposes to produce an atomic bomb? That's kind of the key. You didn't quite say that.
So included another risk, which is the risk of accident. He gave an example about that. The speaker also included another risk, which is the risk of accident.
Okay.
He gave an example about the explosion that happened in Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine, which caused the worst nuclear accident ever.
Okay.
30 people killed immediately, and thousands got cancer and deaths.
Let's go back to what you said.
30 people killed immediately.
No, not 30 people killed. 30 people were killed immediately by the explosion. You need passive voice there. Hold on a second. Now, how do you form passive voice? You got to form passive voice through A, using the form of the be verb, B, using the past participle. That's why 30 people were killed by the explosion, you want to say.
And thousands got cancer and deaths. It also cost the former Soviet Union 3 times more than...
There! Your recording is much louder there. You did something with your microphone that made it easier for me to understand. The first 57 seconds of your response, not very clear because of your position of your microphone with your mouth. But did you notice that difference? Let's listen to it one more time.
Former Soviet
so right now, not that loud.
Union 3 times more
there.
Than the benefits from 1954 to 1990.
So what you're trying to say is that the cost of the explosion was more money than the Soviet Union generated from their nuclear energy program beginning in 1950 all the way to the 1980s. That's what you were trying to say there, but you couldn't actually say it. So, yeah, I think here you definitely need to improve with your pronunciation. So if I were you, I would start going through all of my pronunciation lessons, everything, do all the vowel, all the consonant sounds, but I want you to pay attention to the lesson on intonation. That's pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. I think you definitely need to make some improvements in varying your tone. I think that's important. You had some language use issues, as I pointed out. For example, understanding the difference between active voice and passive voice. I do have a good grammar lesson on passive voice. So if you go to the grammar part of my course, I think that's section number 3, step 3, find the lesson that talks about passive voice. Study that, practice writing down some sentences, make sure you know how and when to use passive voice. That's important. Also, you had some topic development issues, particularly in how you started your response, and I don't think you completely explained all the points. You have some limitations, vocabulary and grammar limitations, which are preventing you from fully explaining your ideas. All right, so your score here, I'm going to put you at about, I'm going to say 2.16 out of 4. 17 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Now, if you go to the rubrics, if you go to page 9 in the syllabus, 2.16 is going to put you at 75% on this assignment. So what do? You have to improve your language use. You need to make some improvements in grammar, vocabulary. You also need to make some improvements in how you organize ideas, making sure that you accurately and explain the most important points from the sources, and you need to improve how you're organizing your ideas. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you for completing this practice test.